Yes then YouTube, we are back with another video on the Wolf of an Aston Villa podcast, brought to you by myself, Connor Wolf. Drop this video a like, drop a comment down below, and if you can hit that subscribe button to my channel, that would mean the world to me. I just realised I said drop this video a like. Really weirdly there, sorry about that. Also, I'm proudly sponsored by Luke Roper, so if you do want to check out Luke's website, link is down in the description below, luke1977.com. Use the code WOLF20, all one word, for 20% off your whole order, including sale items. And today, Cameron Archer, I think today's the day he finally does leave. A lot of murmurings on Twitter that Sheffield United will be making an 18 million bid plus add-ons, which is probably going to be around about the 20 million to 22 million mark, and that Aston Villa are going to accept that offer. But by the way, before we get into the video, if any of you watched yesterday's video, you'll have seen my LEDs just what the hell they were doing. I don't know. They now won't turn on. So I'm going to have to put my little lamp on by my bedside cabinet just to get a little bit of light in here. So apologies for the lighting being a bit weird than it would normally be. But yeah, I'll show you right now, YouTube. Sheffield United will make an 18 million bid for Aston Villa striker Cameron Archer. The deal will include a buyback clause for a slightly larger fee. So, kind of what we're getting at here, I don't know whether you would agree here, YouTube, but kind of what we're getting at is kind of like maybe a very expensive loan deal. Kind of, not like a loan deal, but like, it's kind of like Aston Villa are saying, I do wonder as well how much a Cameron Archer pushing this move, because Cameron Archer probably does want to play. A championship loan move now for Cameron Archer does absolutely nothing for his stocks, his value, even just his probably even playing ability. He's done 2 very successful loan moves to the championship already, so he probably wants to play Premier League football. Of course, if it was to be at Aston Villa, he would stay, but with Ollie Watkins and John Duran, with Moussa Diaby, Zaniolo coming in, especially Duran. I think Unai Emery does prefer John Duran over Cameron Archer. And 30 minutes ago, Alan Nixon, who did first report about the Sheffield United interest in Aston Villa, he then did tweet, "This one is moving very fast." So for me, it's looking like a pretty much done deal now that Cameron Archer will be on his way to Sheffield United. I'm a little bit sad about it, YouTube. I don't know whether you agree or not. I'm a little bit sad about that, you know. Like by the way, do you want no lights or a light on? Which one do you prefer? I always like a darker room, but yeah. Anyway, I'm a little bit sad. I wanted Cameron Archer to stay at Aston Villa, and I wanted him to do well. You know, a local lad coming through the youth academy. But I think football now, I don't think, and a bit of a discussion here actually about FFP and stuff like that. I don't think FFP and the way that sales work actually helps younger players. Because, for example, if we have brought Pau Torres for 27 million over a 5-year contract. I don't know what the maths is. Just over 5 million a year, it will go down onto the FFP books, right? If we were to then sell Pau Torres in a year's time for 35 million quid, we would actually only on the FFP books make a £13 million profit on that. So, for example, I'd take 5 mil off the 27 million, that takes it down to 22 million, and then 35 million straight into the books would then be 13 million of profit. Whereas with the younger players like a Cameron Archer and Aaron Ramsey, who we have now seen gone to Burnley, I did drop a video on that a few weeks ago. These players, Carney Chukwuemeka, even Jack Grealish, these players go down as what you would call like pure profit in the FFP. So straight away, whatever Cameron Archer sells for, Aaron Ramsey sells for, Jack Grealish sells for, Carney Chukwuemeka sells for, Jaden Philogene sells for, Keenan Davis sells for. That is pure profit on the FFP books. And that doesn't actually really help the younger players. Because clubs like Aston Villa that have got very rich and wealthy owners, like billionaire owners, they want to spend big money on players like a Moussa Diaby, a Pau Torres. Who did we sign last season for big money? Diego Carlos. These type of players. But because we're not into the Champions League and we don't have Champions League revenue, we then have to sell younger players for us to make the bigger signings. So, for example, for us to make the same signings that we've made this year, next year, we would have to sell these players like Cameron Archer, Aaron Ramsey, Jaden Philogene. Because the way that FFP works, we've sold Aaron Ramsey for 14 million. We're going to get 20 million for Cameron Archer. That's 34 million. We're going to get 5 million for Philogene. That's 39 million. We're going to get 2 million for Keenan Davis. That's 41 million of pure profit straight into the FFP books. And this is where it doesn't help the younger players, because clubs that want to spend the big money, they, even like a Chelsea, they will view the younger youth academy prospects as literally almost just not money laundering, but they'll just use it as money on the books. That's what they'll use it as. And it's not, I don't like that aspect of it. I really don't, because I feel like we're going to see as time... Sorry, I don't know what my LEDs have now just turned on. They are. What is going on with them? As the FFP keeps going on further and further and further year on year, you're going to see more big clubs just sell their younger players. And that's what you're going to see. I don't think Cameron Archer would have been sold by Aston Villa if there wasn't a thing called FFP. So, for example, if FFP wasn't in its current format, I don't think there is a chance in hell that we would have sold Cameron Archer. Unless Cameron Archer has come to Unai Emery's door and gone, look, I actually do want to move on from Aston Villa. I want to play in the Premier League. Sheffield United, Luton, who were the two teams that were heavily linked with him. Leeds as well, but they're in the Championship and he doesn't want to go down to the Championship. These are the type, unless he comes in and goes, look, I really want to play. These clubs, Luton and Sheffield United, they are offering me the chance to play a lot of minutes in the Premier League this season, so I want to go. If that then is the case, well then surely we should do the right thing and let him go, no? Because at that point, we're holding a valuable asset on the books for no reason, and there is an and to that. He doesn't want to be here and he wants to play. So I think regarding the FFP, and that was one topic of discussion that I did want to mention in this video about FFP, and that is why you have seen you will have seen Aston Villa this summer. Don't be alarmed if you even see more go, like younger academy prospects, because Villa want to get where they want to get to with spending big money. They don't want to do it like a Brighton. They don't want to have to sell their best players. In a year's time, we might have to, if we, for example, this season we have sold 0 starting 11 players, right? Every single player in the starting 11 will have been here last season. Next season, there might have to be a discussion with Unai Emery and Monchi that, look, we're going to have to sell a starting 11 player, whether that be like a Douglas Luiz, an Emi Martinez, a Boubacar Kamara, a Emi Buendia, if he comes out for his injury and he's not the same player. Like, we might then have to sell a first 11 player. So because we haven't sold a first 11 player this summer, Villa have to recoup some money to then spend big again. Because one thing that I haven't actually said so far about Cameron Archer, with us selling Cameron Archer, which it's looking like it will be pretty much be a done deal today, we will sign another attacker. We have to. Like, we literally, we can't go into this season without replacing Cameron Archer. Cameron Archer would have played quite a few minutes for us this season, so we will have to replace him. And I'm thinking the calibre of player that Villa want to replace Cameron Archer with is like a Ferran Torres, a Eze Abde, which I did a video on yesterday, an Ansu Fati, a Vlahovic, Tammy Abraham, who we were actually rumoured to be buying until he got injured. These are the type of players that Aston Villa want to replace Cameron Archer. All of them players that I've just mentioned right now are better than Cameron Archer. At this moment in time, they are better players than Cameron Archer. So Villa, kind of like with Luca Dean doesn't fit the way Unai Emery plays, although he did have a very good game on Sunday, duly noted. The type of player that we will bring in for Luca Dean will be on less money than Luca Dean, but will be more effective in our team than Luca Dean. The type of striker that we are going to bring in when we sell Cameron Archer to Sheffield United, probably today or tomorrow, is going to have more of an impact on the team and to the goals and assists of Aston Villa this season than Cameron Archer would. But at the same time, like I have said, I don't want to see him go. I'm sad to see him go. I don't want Aston Villa to sell our academy graduates because of FFP. I don't want that to happen. Like, Cameron Archer... One thing I would say, though, having seen Cameron Archer in pre-season, and he came on against Everton. He was crap, by the way, against Everton. But I think he knows a move's incoming, so he didn't give it his all kind of thing. But he didn't look that good in pre-season. So I do have question marks whether... You can come back to this video. If there are any Sheffield United fans watching this, by the way, let me know in the comment section down below. You can come back to this video at the end of the season. I don't know whether Cameron Archer can play up front by himself in the Premier League. I don't think he's got the physicality in terms of like he's able to hold the ball up, and I don't think he's got the technical ability to do it yet. Not to say that he can't do it in the future, but from what I've seen in pre-season at Villa this season and in the couple of games that he's come on, which he hasn't looked very good, I do have that question mark, which does then bring me to maybe it's just come to a mutual decision. Both Unai Emery, Monchi, and Cameron Archer. Look, Cameron Archer, he needs to play football. When you're that age and you have the talent that Cameron Archer does, he needs to play football. It makes zero sense to have him on our bench at Aston Villa every week. Even though me, as a Villa season ticket holder and a Villa fan, I would love that, because bringing Cameron Archer off the bench when you need a goal, that is brilliant, right? But that's not going to do him good for his career and his progression as a football player. That's just not going to do him good. But like I said, I think Sheffield United fans, if you are still watching this video, you've got yourself a brilliant player, a brilliant prospect who I think a lot of Villa fans will be sad to see go, which I think is an indication of how highly rated he is at Aston Villa by the fans. And I'm not so sure by Unai Emery too much, but definitely the fans, we rate him highly. I think you've got a player that I still believe is a better finisher than I believe right now. Cameron Archer still is the best finisher we've got at Aston Villa. Better than Ollie Watkins at finishing, but Ollie Watkins' all-round game is a hell of a lot better than Cameron Archer, which is why then Ollie Watkins plays, obviously, right? But you put Cameron Archer one-on-one, I back him to score way more than I do Ollie Watkins. Way more. Like we saw that on Sunday. Watkins couldn't hit a barn door on Sunday, right? So, take good care of him. 18 to 20 million. I think it's good. It's good. It's just a good move for all parties. Like the Aaron Ramsey deal to Burnley, I just think it's a good move that makes sense for all parties. I am sad to see him go, though, and I wish him all the best. So, drop this video a like for me, YouTube. Drop a comment down below. You do know I love to have an engaging conversation with you. And if you can hit that subscribe button to my channel, that would mean the world to me. Thank you for watching. Remember, spread the love and positivity. BMA, positive attitude. Peace out. One love.